Good afternoon. Hope everybody is doing well. I listened to some of the questioning of Mark Zuckerberg, and interesting. That's pretty much what I can note of it. Very interesting, and some of the information was pretty crazy, to be honest. So Heidi Roger over there in D Live. I'm going to try it again. I've been trying to say howdy everyone, but I'm getting the status code 401 failed. So whatever that is, it's not letting me enter a chat message over there. So okay. Wow. No Bible chapter today. My apologies. I had to piece together the monologue from yesterday because obviously when my computer crashed, um, you know, the monologue was split. So I had to piece two pieces of video together, and my arm's been killing me. And so I've been again doing quite a bit of reading because there's not a whole lot that I can really do when it's doing that. If I get horizontal, and I lay just right on the arm, it seems to minimize the pain. So anyway, so no Bible chapter today. I'm going to try at it tomorrow, and we'll get right into the news. So as usual, I tweeted out quite a bit of stuff today, and I want to say again, thank you for the ad clicks. I know you're one of them responsible evil. I appreciate it highly. You guys have no idea. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to the watchmannews.com, right now the only ad that's on it is at the very bottom. And if you click that ad, you don't have to sign up, you don't have to fill nothing out, you don't have to do nothing but click the ad. It actually throws a little bit our way. And I'm gonna show this because it's not a national secret or anything. And I do believe in transparency. And I said from a long time ago that I would never put ads on the site, and I went back on my word. And I don't like going back on my word, but this helps, and you can see just how much that it does help. This month alone, we're on the 10th day. We're a third into this month roughly, and 1373 just from people clicking that ad. So it helps immensely, and that's going to, it's, again, yesterday, I'm not going to go back all into it. Yesterday I went over what this first payout is going to go to. Going to get the Doggo a dog trailer, and then it's a kid trailer, but it's going to be turned into a dog trailer, and a grocery getting trailer. So my grocery getter is going to look a little bit different than most people's, right? So anyway, and then from there, it's going to be getting stuff. I'm going to get the solar charge controller like I talked about, so I can get that information and video out. And then I really think I'm going to go with a water filter after that. And I think I'm going to go with a couple different methods of water filtration to show you both a forced water and a gravity fed. So we'll see. So it all depends on how much ad revenue that we can whip up, and as fast as we can do it and get this stuff done. So let's get on with the tweeter stuff. Okay, now this is starting out last night, and I don't even know if maybe this first one or a couple may have been mentioned on the show or not. I do remember pointing this particular article out to Jen, and it took quite a bit of notice from myself. Trump says alleged Syrian gas attack to be met forcefully. Okay, I don't think anybody questions what the United States is up to. We have a lot of options militarily. Trump on Syria, chemical attack response. Proof needed. Yulia Skripal discharged from hospital on her own will. Humanitarian corridor in eastern Ghouta in action. Iran vows to respond to Israel crime, referring to air base targeting, says reports. And I'm sure that's going to get way blown up, by the way, because if Iran says anything, they get demonized for it, and it's insane. Iran's not actively trying to attack other countries. They're not. They are simply not. UK PM calls alleged chemical attack in Syria barbaric. And remember, folks, at this point, there have been doctors coming forward from on the ground there in Douma saying that there were no chemical weapons even used. So, what gives? That's why I don't understand. And I hope this thing gets blown wide open. And to be honest, I hope it's found that there were no chemical weapons used for multiple reasons, because that's a horrid way to die. Number one. Number two, maybe we can put an end to this nightmare. This absolute nightmare. And here I'm saying this, living in the United States. We're not invaded by a foreign country. But I can think beyond my own 2 feet. And I certainly wouldn't want my children growing up in an environment to where there's another country that's unwanted and invading our country, actually trying to cause division, trying to cause strife so they can overtake our government. And you can fill in the blank from the rest there, whatever reason you feel that they are trying to topple Assad. But I can tell you it's not because he's a bad guy. It's because there are interests over there, and I think there are multiple interests over there, and that's why they're doing it. Kind of like the poppy fields in Afghanistan. Weapons of mass heroin, right? Residential house blast in Idlib kills almost 30 people, injures 135. Israeli envoy to Moscow arrives at Russian Foreign Ministry. Trump cancels trip to Latin America to focus on response to Syria. Syria invites OPCW to probe alleged chemical attack in eastern Ghouta. I mean, Syria's wanting to come in. Please come in and check this out, because we didn't do it. I'm going to be playing this video during the monologue. I normally don't play videos during the monologue, but this is a announcement video, and I will be playing it. So give me a bit while I get there. Trump Homeland Security Advisor Bossert resigns. Why is it that all these Homeland Security folks are leaving? I know I wouldn't be there in the first place, but with what they have planned, yeah, I would be getting out of there too. Something called the Nuremberg trials. Kind of concerning. Russian embassy says London failed to give verifiable info on Yulia Skripal health. Sudan to release all political prisoners. OPCW to send chemical weapons investigators to Syria's Douma. New anti-Russian sanctions can cost German economy billions of euro. Now, I'm going to back up real quick, and I do want to mention that again too, but here's the thing. Once again, there was another UNSC meeting today, which was probably overshadowed by Zuckergate. And so they want to do this, right? Trump wants to get in there. He wants to bomb. He wants to blow people up as quick as he can, along with other countries that are involved in this cabal. And the reason why is because if it gets dug into enough, I think the truth is going to be found out. And I think these, and I'm going to call them actors, know that. And so that's why they need to act as quick as they can. Possibly even destroying that particular area, which would prevent any type of investigation to go any further from where it's at now. Crazy. It's crazy. It just needs to stop. Let's see. And I want to read this again because I want folks to really get the impact of this. New U.S. anti-Russian sanctions can cost Germany economy billions of euro. In other words, Germany's likely going to get highly pissed at the United States because they're going to be hurting too because of this stupid game. That's what it is. It's a game. Macron says Russia violated UN resolution on Syria truce. Russia blocks U.S. resolution in UNSC on probe into alleged chemical incident. EASA issues alert for Eastern Mediterranean due to possible airstrikes on Syria. So you know what that means. That is by the president that said, "Oh no, we won't let them know ahead of time we're going to do it." Remember that? And this article I'm going to read. No one wants war, but Gorbachev hits out at Trump and Putin over lack of diplomatic, however you want to say it, skills. And I never much really thought I would agree with anything that Gorbachev has to say. Interestingly enough, let's see. Let's read this real quick. Former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev has urged Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump to stage direct negotiations, warning that an incidental clash between American and Russian forces could lead to open warfare. I would say we're pretty much already there, folks. I am very alarmed, Gorbachev, who led the Soviet Union between 1985 and 1991, told Interfax news agency. The situation hasn't been this bad in a long time, and I'm very disappointed in how world leaders are behaving themselves. We see evidence of an inability to use diplomatic mechanisms. International politics has turned into exchanges of accusations, sanctions, and even military strikes. Gorbachev, whose Nobel Peace Prize in 1990 was partly awarded for his groundbreaking summits with Presidents Ronald Reagan and George Bush that helped end the Cold War, urged the current leaders in the Kremlin and the White House to follow his example. Because Russia and the U.S. are at the sharp end of a current crisis, their leaders must meet. They need to meet halfway for a day or two of serious negotiations with involvement from foreign and defense ministers, Gorbachev said. In the current absence of diplomatic progress, Gorbachev is particularly worried about preventing incidents involving Russian and American troops and armaments. I am sure no one wants war, but in the current febrile atmosphere could lead to great trouble. Now, he's right. I don't think for the most part nobody does want war, except for the global banking systems and the military-industrial complex and anybody else that might profit or benefit in any way from an all-out war. The U.S. financial system, for instance, really needs war. They have to have war, either to save this economy or to blame the loss of this economy on. Either way, it works for them. Has in previous wars. Let's see. Who added that the present escalation of disagreements between the major powers is due to the fact that ordinary people are not yet aware of the threat hanging over them. You know, I agree. I absolutely 110% agree. I don't think people have a clue of the threat that they are looking at. Everybody's all headstrong. Oh, let's go get them, let's go get them. It ain't going to be like that. How long have we been a country? I'd have to sit there and actually do the math. How many wars have we actually fought on our mainland? And I'm not talking about Pearl Harbor. How many wars have we fought on our mainland since 1776? I'm not talking about the Civil War either. That don't count. Don't you think we're a bit overdue? See, the people in this country have no idea. Unless you're a veteran, of course. And if you are, much respect and thank you. But the society in general that has not served, especially in foreign wars, has no idea what it would be like to be in a war in this country. Because, see, the only war that they see is on a TV screen, and 90% of that is Rambo on HBO or whatever. To where they get this attitude that we're invincible. It don't work like that. Don't work like that. I think folks in this country really need to slow down. I think they need to start doing a little bit of research. I think they need to start watching video and looking at pictures of different places in Afghanistan and Iraq and Syria. All these places, all these war-torn countries. Then they need to start looking up things like disease in these countries. Because bullets isn't what kills the majority in a war-torn country. Disease is. And I don't think a lot of people really get it. I really don't. And it's strange because, right, we could get a forecast of snow, and you've got everybody and their brother running to the store to get milk and bread. Like they're crazy, like they're absolutely insane. And they're really not, because it's tradition almost, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it, because back in the day it wasn't so easy to get that milk and that bread. So you prepped, you prepared. You did it ahead of time, you got ready. Now, if you had wood heat, you'd probably bring some extra wood in. There are little things that people used to do to prepare for these types of events. We don't do these things anymore. And those of us that do, the quote-unquote preppers, typically get scrutinized for doing it. And it's the smartest damn thing you can do. Whether it's a war, whether it's a tornado, a hurricane, earthquake, or some drunk runs into the power pole. But that probably ain't gonna put you out for like weeks of power. But I'm just saying, it's time that people understand, and this goes for people across the board, that life is not an entitlement. And I'm not talking about people that get help with food or help with finances, or that's not even on my radar. I'm talking about the society as a whole feel like they're entitled to a peaceful, serene, do what I want to do and not have any consequences life. And it's fake. It's as fake as the dollar bill that we use to spend, to buy. Because you're not. You have that illusion. Like I tell people with security. Security, unless you're providing for yourself, is just an illusion. It doesn't exist, and I've used this example over and over and over. I've got a phone literally like a foot away from me. I'm touching it with my hand right now. Okay? Now, if I seen somebody, even if I got the jump on it and seen somebody getting out of a vehicle with a gun and heading this way, even if I got that jump on them to call 911, do you or anybody expect me to believe that I'm going to be able to, for one, even get my address and the information blurted out to the dispatcher before that person can bust in my door and shoot me in the head? Security, unless you provide it for yourself, is an illusion. Security covers many different areas of your life, not just somebody busting in the door and shooting you in the head. I would say starving to death, dying of thirst, or dying of dysentery because you don't have clean water. I could go on and on and on. And I do consider all of that forms of security. that, by the way, you're not entitled to. It's just available. There's a difference. There's a difference. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Kroger, or whatever your store is that you go to, and you can buy that stuff right now. Not a problem. But what happens if you can't? What do you do then? I sure the hell hope you don't expect that somebody else did it for you. You know, there's a letter that I talk about from time to time on the show, and I've actually linked it a couple of times, and I need to do it again. In fact, maybe I could read it. I don't know where it's at, though. Not offhand. I don't know that I could find it that quick. Let me take a peek real quick. I might be able to. I think I can get into here. Most of the website won't allow indexing, but this page will. This might be it. Might be the Wake Up PDF. Yes, this is it. See? Boom, right here. I'll read it, and I can always put it in the chat too. And I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna put it in an article or something so everybody knows. Or you can go to the watchmannews.com/documents/wakeup.pdf, and it's right there as well. Dear friends and loved ones. Now, by the way, I did not write this. I found this on a prepping forum on the internet. I did not write this. I love you all, but I will shoot you if I have to. I'm serious. Here's why. I tried to persuade you to prepare for what's coming, and, in the process, revealed to you that I am preparing. You realize that I have food, guns, etc., and ended up saying, half kidding but half serious, I'll come to your place when SHTF. How many of you heard that? How many of you out there prepping that's brought it up to other people have heard that? I certainly have. Multiple times. Multiple times. And that was back when I had stuff. Now we really don't. No, you won't. Continuing on, by the way. No, you won't. I will shoot you. If you threaten me and or my family, I will use force to defend against any threat. And showing up at my place hungry and unprepared is a threat to me. You will eat my food and use up my medical supplies, generator, firewood, etc. That's less of these life-saving things for me and my family. That's a threat. Now, I'm going to interject here and say something. If you know me, chances are very high at some point during conversations I had brought up that you need to prepare. It's something that I put pretty high on the priority list to talk about with people, whether I just meet them or whether I've known them. So here's the thing. Those people that I have told this to get ready, if they don't get ready, pardon me being so frank, but they're shit out of luck. They are shit out of luck. I will help a complete stranger that I've never spoke to before in my life before I will help somebody who I had previously warned that chose not to do nothing. We don't have a fortune, but we still try to do a little bit when we can, where we can. Evil has actually helped us. He really has. You know, little things like fire starters, and believe me, it's incredible help. It saves me from rubbing two sticks together. Seriously. Little things. And they don't cost much. They don't. Anyway, let me continue on. Is this greed on my part? No. I will take care of the truly needy, which is pretty much what I was just saying. Those who cannot take care of themselves. But you are different. Very different. You had plenty of chances to prepare for yourself. But what did you do? You spent the weekends watching football, went on expensive vacations, and never made your spouse mad at you with your crazy ideas that something bad was happening. You didn't do poop because you would just come to my place. Problem solved, right? You didn't need to spend time, money, and create domestic strife because I did that all for you. That's the entitlement I'm talking about. Now, not the totality of the entitlement, but this is the entitlement part of people that know you, okay? But much of society feels entitled because, hey, just yesterday I could go to Walmart and buy my milk and bread, right? Not, why should I spend my time, money, and stress just so you can waltz into my place and live happily ever after? I'm a nice guy, but really? I'm going to spend my very limited free time, disposable income, and domestic tranquility just so you can have a leisurely life and more material comforts pre collapse while I don't? Why do you think I will sacrifice enormous amounts of my time and money so you can enjoy yourself while I'm slaving away? Would you assume you could come over and leave your broken car at my house? That I would just spend thousands of dollars on parts and several weekends fixing it and then hand it over to you with a smile just because I'm a good guy? Would anyone expect that? You do, apparently. You actually expect to waltz over to my cabin and receive, with a smile, thousands of dollars of food and other supplies that took me all my weekends to acquire and store. So, my grasshopper friend, as in the story of the grasshopper and the ant, here's your official warning. If your plan for you and your family's safety is to come to my place, you're wrong. When you show up, I will ask you to leave. When you don't, I will point a gun in your face. If you refuse to leave, I will shoot you. You are a threat to me. You had years of time and a very clear warnings to get ready, but you didn't. Hey, I love football, but haven't been able to watch a game in years. You really know this isn't me saying this at this point. I've been fixing up the cabin, buying supplies, and training with the team. I spent a lot of money doing all these things, so I haven't gone on a long vacation in forever. I've had several difficult times with my wife because of all the prepping I'm doing. I could have easily done what you did, which is just say, yes, dear, and not prepare because she didn't want you to. I hope this message jolted you. There's still some time. Go prep. Please understand that your plan cannot be, I'll come to your place. I don't want to shoot you. Like I said, I found that letter on a forum, on a prepping forum. And it was exactly as the last sentence. It was a jolt. I found that like 10 years or better ago. I've had this for a long time. And it was a jolt. And I posted it on Facebook. I put it out there many times, many ways. I think I've even read it on the show before, actually. And, it's about as real as it gets. And I really need to, if you notice, there was an image at the bottom, the burst a bubble, save a life. I was working on a campaign that I never did get kicked off, and maybe I should. I don't know if that takes you. That's a link to the website there, but you can't see the image real well, but it's a picture of a city that's yeah, pretty much dilapidated. But in the bubble, there's actually a playground with kids playing. Nothing but a happy thought inside that bubble, while the rest of the world around that bubble was absolutely gone. And that's why I made that image that way, because it was a direct reflection of what was really happening. And I really do I need to do this. I need to get going with this, and I need to maybe not call it the burst of bubble campaign. I don't know. That works good with the image too. So, But it's something that I need to get done and do. It's hard because I spend a lot of time researching, um, not only on how to do things, but of course with current events, trying to figure out, okay, well, what's this country going to do? What's that country going to do? I try to stay ahead. And that's why I've been saying, I've been trying to impress the people to really to put on that damn helmet. And by that, I mean, get your stuff, get your house in order now. And I mean in order. Um, to give you just an example, and it's little things. I'm telling you, it's little things. We've got a couple little handheld Baofeng UB5R Plus radios, and so Jen's has been out for quite some time. Mine has normally been stored on the bug out bag, on my bug out bag, and I've actually, a lot of people might think crazy of this, but I took it off the bug out bag, and it's actually almost within arm's reach. It's about 1.5 arms reach from me, as well as Jen's is. So just in case I can't get to my bug out bag, just for whatever crazy reason, I mean, come on, if there's an earthquake and the place starts going down, may not be able to get to it. And folks, these are things I do, not because I'm paranoid or because I'm scared or because I want to be prepared. I want to be prepared. And one of the things, because I wanted to test, they came with these cheap little headsets, and I wanted to test mine out. I've tested Jen's out, but I haven't tested mine out. And I still haven't tested mine out. But I got it out of the bug out bag, and that's when I got the radio out. And I've got them setting literally right there. And the headsets are out, ready to go. So let's just say something crazy happened and there was an earthquake. I don't even have to run to go get the bug out bag to be able to have communication. Let's say one of us is trapped inside and can find and get to the radio. Boom, there's communication. These are things, and again, I'm not paranoid at all. I just try to be on my toes. I try to keep ahead of things because I'm telling you, there are so many things that are coming to a head in this world. It's unreal. We could talk about volcanoes, notably called super volcanoes, in which we are way overdue for one to pop off. We can talk about earthquakes, especially New Madrid right here, right next to us, which is, guess what? Overdue to pop off. Bullshit, overdue to pop off. Right? Again, we've talked about there hasn't been a war here on the U.S. mainland since we've been a country. I would say overdue to pop off. We've got all these things. All these things. And I'm not saying live in fear either. See, that's the difference. I've seen many, many times where somebody that's anti-gun says to a Second Amendment supporter, what are you afraid of? And there's a joke I've seen I don't know how many times to where I think it was the way the joke goes. It was an older lady that had a ton of guns, and somebody asked her what she was afraid of, and she looked at him and said, "Not a damn thing." That's my point. It's not about fear. It's about being able to overcome. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people. You can go and you can ask a lot of different people that have been through different things, and they will tell you, to do this or to that. Think about people that's been through tornadoes. What would they tell you? Okay? Would they recommend you have a bug out bag ready? Or would they recommend you do this or that? Of course, they probably would. Probably would. So it's just something to think about. I'm going to play this video. It's a short video. I'm going to play it, though. It's from Iraq veteran 8888. And it is about a rally that's coming up. Hang on, I'm trying to get to the particular video here. Let me get you to the video screen. It's about a rally that is coming up, and I would urge everybody that can please take part in the rally. Here's the thing. We can nearly every weekend fit over 100,000 people, I believe, in a stadium to watch a sports game, right? Now, in this video, I think his name's Eric, is going to talk about he thinks there's going to be 1,000 people there at the particular rally in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, and I listen to that, and while it is a pretty impressive show of individuals, I also think about it and go, that's sad. We stuff over 100,000 people in one stadium on a weekend, and we can't get 10,000 at a state capitol. So yesterday, Steve Engel sent me a link to the I believe it's the same set of rallies. I don't know that they're all like necessarily every one of them are associated with one another, but from my understanding, most of the states are indeed having this rally this weekend. Or not this weekend, I'm sorry, the weekend of the 14th. Oh, it is this weekend. Sorry. I'm scrolling down to the video. Here it is. So I'm going to play this real quick, and then we'll close up the monologue and go on with our regular show from there. Again, it's Iraq Veteran 8888, and the name of the video is titled National Pro 2A Rally Announcement.
Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video. I promise I'll try to only take up a little bit of your time. I want everybody to please share this video with everybody you know. April 14th, which is next Saturday. I know it's kind of short notice, but April 14th, there's going to be Pro 2A rallies at every state capitol in all 50 states at 2 p.m. Now, obviously, depending on, what time zone you're in, that is going to physically be, I guess, sort of a different time. But the whole idea is they want everybody there at the same time. We are going to be attending the one here in Atlanta, Georgia. It is April 14th, 2 p.m. I will be speaking at the event along with a ton of other great people. And it's a great way to get like-minded people together and for everybody to show their support for the Second Amendment and to show that, we are a nation of people who love firearms and we love the ability to be able to protect ourselves. And we don't agree with all of this censoring that's going on, not only in the media, but on other social media platforms. This is a great way for like-minded people to get together and discuss all of those things at hand. Another thing, I want to make it clear, guys, this event is open to people of all creeds, all religions, all races. If you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Obviously, this is an open event for everybody. If you love the Second Amendment, we want you there, and we're proud to have you there. Doesn't matter what creed you follow. As long as you support the Second Amendment, you are there and you're among your friends. Okay, so I want everybody to be clear on that. That this is for everybody. We want to welcome everybody with open arms. We're expecting probably about 1,000 people to show up at this point. Maybe just shy of 1,000. We've got quite a few people for the Atlanta rally, signed up. Go over to Facebook and follow the links in the description box below to go over there and basically get more information for the rallies that are happening in your exact state. I'm going to be at the one in Atlanta, Georgia at 2 o'clock on the 14th, but obviously there's one in every single state going on. So make sure you check out the link in the description box below for more information. And guys, thank you for a little bit of your time today. Please try to make it. I know we've all got things going on. I know we're all busy. I know we all work hard. But I would like to invite all of you to come out. We would love to meet you. Take photos, hang out. We're going to do like a big selfie together with the crowd, so we would love to have you be a part of that. Thank you so much for the support, guys. And also, one thing I do want to mention before we leave here, there was some cost of like the porta potties that we had to cover. We decided to cover that completely out of pocket. So those of you that support us on Patreon, those of you that purchase man cans to help support the channel, those of you that purchase shirts on Forge from Freedom, just know that your funds went directly to assist us in some of the logistical things of putting this event on. So those funds help with not only channel but also putting on these type of logistics. So guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back. We've got many more videos on the way, many other things we're going to be discussing. Thank you for your time. Please show up April 14th, 2 o'clock at your state capitol. We would love to see you there. And again, we will be in Atlanta, Georgia. We're looking forward to seeing you guys there. Check the information down in the box below for more details. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon.
Alrighty, and again, we need to be getting at least 10,000. That needs to be the bottom number target that we need to get at these rallies. And it's sad and I think I know the reason why he really expressed about, if you're a Second Amendment supporter, you're welcome there. And I think the reason why is because the divide that has happened in the Second Amendment supporter community, which I don't think is by accident, by the way. And, there's a lot of people that are probably, well, I don't want somebody there that's okay with banning bump stocks and yeah, I agree. In fact, I'm a strong supporter of getting rid of each and every gun law there is. Period. Done. Gone. We need to get out of that mindset. If we were out of that mindset and we truly were a gun culture again, because we're not a gun culture, they'll try and tell you we're a gun culture. We're not a gun culture. We are absolutely not a gun culture. The majority of the people in this country don't own firearms. Now, I know that may sound crazy, but it's not. The reason why there's over 300 million guns in circulation in the United States is because those that do believe in owning firearms and do own firearms own multiple firearms. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. If the average gun owner had 3 guns and there was 100 gun owners in this country, I mean a million, or 100 million, let me get my math right. If there were 100 million people in this country that own guns, and on average they owned 3 guns, you've got 300 million guns. You see what I'm saying? When there's 350 million people in this country, you're looking at less than a third of the people that own guns. We are not a gun culture. We're not. But they want to make it seem that way. Sure, the guns are on the media everywhere, on entertainment and everywhere else, and in music, movies, TV shows. Sure. But largely, people got away from owning guns. It is not what it used to be in this country. Part of that is because of the brainwashing that's happened over decades, because of the lack of, in most people's opinion, lack of necessity to have them. Because, see, a lot of people don't think about guns these days as self-defense anymore. They just don't. And I know that's a really, really crazy thought, but they don't. Why? Because they got their phone, right? They got their phone. They can call somebody with a gun. Like, that really helps. So, we have to understand that it's not necessarily a matter of stopping what they're doing. It's pushing them back. It's not anymore at the point of just stopping the new laws from taking effect. We have to shove them back and say, no, enough. This is done. I would absolutely love to see something soon as far as a major, major, major rally in Deerfield, Illinois. Because that's the only thing that I can see that's going to help those people up there. Because it's just, anything, it's going to get so screwed up. Even if it's by the Supreme Court, if they try to battle it, it's just going to get solidified, just like it did in Highland Park. Just going to get solidified. So it's time that, like I say, not only that they are stopped, they need to be pushed back, because what's happening is incredibly stupid. And many of the states that now allow medical marijuana, they're going and taking the rights to self-defense, the unalienable right, right? The right that they don't have to give in the first place. They're taking that from people because they want natural medication to help them, because they don't want the chemical shitstorm that the doctors dole out. And it's sad. Anyway, I'm going to close up on that, and I'll get you guys a video. And to close the monologue, as always, I will tell the folks watching the monologue, God bless you all. We love you all. Be one with your spirit. Hang in there. And once again, put on the damn helmet.